in European Association of Individual Psychologists.
Yes. It's Bernardo Yaír.
Yes. So,
dear Adlerian, be patient with my ugly English. I have the courage to be imperfect, but I need your support. Please give me. In the past, Adlerian psychotherapy with truthful is inspired most of the techniques and methods currently in use. Even today, even continue to be vigorous and effective. Is an epistemological route turned into adaptive theory that covers a large span that's exempt from Feichinger fictionalism to Piaget constructivism. Its ethical and sociological conception is not in the least of its contribution because of the search for life's meaning to the feeling of community, Gemeinschaftgefühl, both mediated by the power of will. It places man alone, standing on the razor edge of loneliness and the need to belong. With this width of practical and academic experience, we should undertake a revision of Adlerian's contribution in a century and the development that the other psychotherapy had had on Hazán and postulate are now developments. We shall find convergence and divergence. We should envision a new model that aims and constant change, but maintaining the need for fixed points. With this metaphor, we should be able to use the level that's a key rate to move the ball. After an extensive period of conditioned, imposed by fashion debate that poses a scientist but left us as helpless to cope with anxiety in the lab, or real company and sensoriness. With Matt understands once more that evidence can be otherwise. Change and new developments in genetic and environment control let us design methods that use our maximum creative power. While climate change is no plastic reality, and genetic contested tell us memento no, we are pulvis ex. We are facing with the challenges of renewable therapy, depth, holistical, theological, sociological, and positive that places articulation in racial technique and method already under construction. In the future, our psychotherapy will have, as it does now, but a greater emphasis in routine activation and commitment to promote a vita nova, as we'd like to call it out of love of Dante, from whom I choose two particular metaphors. One is the torment of Paolo and Francesca, victims of the love of gravity that's impeding them from coming closer. The other is the one of those indifferent who must parade behind a black banner due to their lack of commitment. I refer to political commitment in the Aristotelic sense of the song politikon. This does not imply falling into epistemological rationalism already deceived, but instead considering the Adlerian idea of collaboration. As Bachar has remained as Adler in psychoanalytical association in the city that hosts us today, declared Marx to be the first social psychologist, and he trusts in him from the sociological, but not the economical viewpoint. Marx said that philosopher used to interpret the world, and that philosophy today must be useful for changes. The therapists and consultants that will substitute and must be capable of promoting a change in lifestyle and change in society, where Darwinian and Hegelian posture harmonize. Without disregarding simple or complex psychopathologies, its lifestyle is personal, unparalleled, and unique, as Bertrand exemplified in the prologue to the Spanish version of Über der Nervenson Charakter. Accepting that the world is diversity, we will learn respect and tolerance, among individuals and nations, as was Warlike's concern towards the end of his life. Because after all a country lifestyle depended on the lifestyle of the people, who in part consciously and in part unconsciously choose the leader or allow them remain in power. Power, according to the effective expression of Rollo May, undoubtedly influenced by Adler, is the capacity to understand change or impeded. Power and sense of community are the poles of an axis we will never be able to do without, in the same way that it will at more difficult tasks. It was regarded depth psychology to discover unconscious goal facing excess of stimuli, but let be optimist together with Ortega y Gasset when he says it's only possible to perceive something when seen from afar. Let's use etymology again. The Greek word idiotes, translated as idiot, describes he who did not take part in matter or stage. Adlerian must be and must continue to be generous and firm on human and social interest. The importance of affection linked to cognition will be one of the most characteristics. For a long time, we have known that memory without feeling disappears. Even Freud coincided with Adler here in the sentimental isolation of memories. Extreme cognitivism is a revision of the Gnostic heresy that postulates that God could be reached through information, to put in modern terms. What the Indian world is taken into consideration here. In our age, more technological than scientific, we recall the dialogue between Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir. When the latter, faced by the anguish of his mother's death, said that science has defected heart, to which Sartre responded, "No, you have been defected with technology. The therapists of the future cannot remain distant from technology and will necessarily revise their technique." In the word clinical, a soul technique is a technical mistake. We must continue to bear in mind Anatole France's speech when addressing the young and says that he is convinced that Pantagruelism is the best philosophy because it's founded in both poles on human soul, science and love. The same occurs with our psychology, continuously adaptive. David Ausubel nowadays postulates significant learning, which implies that it has a meaning for each pupil. Something when the student talked to their teacher outside the classroom, they said, "What do you that doesn't say anything to me?" Future Libreruti Adlerian therapy will have this verso, "Omnia vinci amor." Love conquers all, very present. Creativity, in Greek poesies, is the same way is the lead us to choose a lifestyle. We lead us to choose the therapeutic toolbox of the future. I now verify at the emphasis with the grid we set a clear the musa of history with the least serious of all uses. In fact, no, but Adlerian because we know that memory change with time and with psychotherapy. I recur to my memory to share a not verified memory of my adolescence. It's about the movie Alpha Bill by Godard. There, in an environment isolated from the outside world, a visitor came and found a dictatorship of technology. The hotel guest is informed that someone has gone to prison because he cried at a friend's wake. The expression of feeling is forbidden. Every day, a Bible is placed on the people night table, which in reality is additional. All the admitted words and concepts are there. The word conscious is missing, which is an object of speculation among the rebels. The following The computer question or perform a psychodiagnosis of the outsider. And the final question is, what make night turn into day? To which the outsider answers, poetry. The computer goes crazy, claiming that the sense is no program and cannot be processed. The feeling of community, Gemeinschaftsgefühl, is the caritas of the Latin and the agape of the Greeks. Is the most important virtue, according to St. Paul, more important than faith and hope. And at the time of the diagnosis, as provisional categories or metaphors of such process can be guessed but never understood. According to King Sound statement, and nowadays, with the level of narcissistic disorder and megalomania high, we can question that behind this there existed a lot of feeling of community and increase of the feeling of inferiority. Many times megalomania is based in an aesthetic feeling in the same way that Soto Guille was concerned about social inferiority. So important decisions were the exclusive increases in number, and we had to commit to including them by recurring to our creativity. We can take into account that surround discussed ugliness is that not so big a gift, and explaining that no ugliness will be unrewarded. In our postmodern society, whenever increasing numbers of criminals, we can agree with Adler that felons, besides lacking a feeling of community, are cowards and attack the weakest or more unprepared. Here, Adler's statement is confirmed. All neurosis is cowardice. Whether for Agni Bottom, the biographer, is someone wishes to avoid certain responsibility, turn neurotic is one to avoid all responsibility, one turn psychotic, or criminal, or psychopathic. There is no better way to evidence that Adlerian psychology has the mission of prevention through education. And here we find a teacher, and one of them are the most conservative individuals. Paulo Freire noted that the drama of the conservative is they cannot conceive that sin can be better. That means to say the contrary our golden rule of everything can be otherwise. And we've been escapable mission to teach together with Gide, seated by Saint-Exupéry. The happiness does not reside in freedom, but in acceptance of a duty. Once again we reinforces Adler apothema. Adler free man from causality and taxes him with responsibility. We are responsible to happen with us and our environment. For example, Biotic shows us that global warming is a product of our selfishness and consumerism. Some years ago, the economist René Dumont wrote that our society has gone wild and has lost control of his consumer model, whose stupidest manifestation is the individual car. There is a new concept in psychology that has much future. Resilience is equal to be responsible at all, lending his support unconditionally and affectionately to the assault and abuse. Who despite this stigma can insert in and contribute to society? The Adlerian of the future will be willing to help and to multiply resilience. We know that today neurotic is the son of yesterday neurotic. The leader to use of the distribution of knowledge of the world was equivalent to the sharing of power. In the psychosis of our society, we find family with only child, which in turn having only child, who are learning to share or to live together is absent. Another exchange of the future that we must start solving in the present, which has no children, can be father of many. There is more merit than in passing on his own limited genius. All this must be undertaken with humor. Let's not remember that Adler died with ideas writing about terrible shock, an idea was speak out by Michael Titze in his eloquent control of gerotophobia and his very Adlerian psychotherapy of humor drama. I recall France. The more I think of humor life, the more I believe that mercy and irony should witness and success. Some came to think that Adlerian psychology will disappear in the previous century through dissemination. They implied it as was obvious that its contribution would be taken up by the other to such an extent that their origin became unknown, lacking the melody Ellenberger spoke on where the author asked to could belong to. The answer is belong to folklore. Nobody but it is confirmed Adler prophetic word. Adler said individual psychology will gain many followers, even without knowing the name of the founder. In this century moment and novel, as age one, our psychology reinforces identity. I respectfully prepare the future to know and to teach who is who. From now, with our teleological position, we proceeded in Kant's philosophy. We can understand without quite turn into a sole statue by looking back. Fachinger's contribution came to our edge from fictionalism. He provided epistemological support for the neurotic character, also centennial today, and which constitutes the identity of our scientific stance in the face of diversity of thought. This control will continue to be accompanied by holism. Taragano, a philosopher from a country named mine, says that a century is but a gem of decimal system, but not a gem without consequences. The 20th century created a new word which explained in the decades to come. Margot, in his anti-memories, sentences that never had yet been transformed to such in a century. I had met a sparrow that waited the streetcar horse in the Palais Royal, and the giant enchanting Commander Glen returning from the cosmos. We go to see him return to the cosmos, an old man from the Cain empires. Taragano insists on the heroic side of science, under the shadow of Margot, who said, this philosopher writes a secret in vain for a contemporary Buddha or Mohammed. He forgot to take into account that it was precisely Adler who in the West showed us an optimist and open path which, regarding transcendence, and will be capable of forming a new man, a new humanity. Also, in the midst of mass information, with mass purpose inseparable. Most important in the future, I was finished with the world of scholars in my country in his parable gorgeous, parable as Socrates is a man that not belong to his time. He's ahead of him, and therefore the Socrates died. And he was given to choose his death, and he chooses Socrates. At sunset, he drank hemlock comforted by the word of his disciple. Is one of his words is made to some fight, and seer you did not see, we shall understand what it is to conquer you to him, to whom shall defend you on Olympus. Thank you very much for listening.